Imagine waking up in a world where the country that everyone is buzzing about isn't China, isn't India, and certainly isn't the United States. It's a place of vibrant culture, spicy cuisine, and mariachi music. That's right, Mexico. But we're not just talking about tacos and tequila, we're talking about a nation on the brink of a massive economic explosion. While you were busy focusing on the usual suspects of global power, Mexico has been quietly but steadily positioning itself to be one of the wealthiest and most influential countries in the world. And the craziest part? No one seems to see it coming. But after watching this, you will. Let's kick off with a simple fact. The world is changing fast, and Mexico is catching the wave at just the right time. Picture this, whole countries like Brazil, Argentina, South Africa, and Russia are stumbling through political crises, economic disasters, even wars. Mexico, meanwhile, is strapping in for a rocket ride to the top. Brazil, which was once the darling of emerging markets, is now grappling with political unrest and economic stagnation. Since the 2022 election of Lula da Silva, Brazil's economy has slowed significantly, growing only 2.9% in 2023, with GDP stagnating in the fourth quarter and a decline in household consumption, indicating a sharp loss of economic momentum, according to Capital Economics chief emerging markets economist William Jackson. Investors who once flocked to Brazil are now looking elsewhere, like Mexico, where stability and opportunity seem to be the order of the day. Then there's Argentina. The land of tango and world-class beef is also the land of sky-high inflation and currency devaluation. With inflation topping 115% in 2023 and a currency that's about as stable as a house of cards in a hurricane, Argentina's economy is teetering on the brink. Meanwhile, Mexico is rolling out the red carpet for foreign investors, offering a much more enticing alternative. Argentina's struggles make Mexico look like a safe haven by comparison, and that's attracting a flood of capital into the country. And let's not forget South Africa. While it's rich in natural resources, the country is being choked by economic inequality and social unrest. Its Gini coefficient, which measures income inequality, is one of the worst in the world at 0.63. In 2023, the country's economy experienced minimal growth, expanding by less than 0.6%. This sluggish performance reflects ongoing challenges in key sectors and indicates a slowdown in economic momentum. The marginal growth underscores the need for strategic interventions to stimulate economic activity and ensure sustained development. Similarly, the unemployment rate in South Africa is on the rise, reflecting deepening economic challenges. The country's labour market has been struggling, with more people losing jobs or failing to land employment. This paints a bleak picture for South Africa, but it also opens the door for Mexico to take centre stage in the emerging markets arena. But the biggest opportunity for Mexico might just come from Russia's self-inflicted wounds. After the invasion of Ukraine in 2022, Russia has been hit with wave after wave of economic sanctions. The country's GDP shrank by 1.2% in 2022, and its once lucrative oil industry is now struggling to stay afloat. With more than 1,000 multinational companies fleeing Russia, the global energy market is searching for a new champion. Enter Mexico, with its rich oil reserves and growing energy sector. In 2023, the oil and gas extraction sector in Mexico accounted for a 1.3% share of the country's gross domestic product. But here's the thing, Mexico's rise isn't just about other countries tripping over their own feet. Mexico has been building a foundation for success that's as solid as a Mayan pyramid. First off, let's talk about geography. Mexico is perfectly positioned between North and South America, with easy access to both the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. This prime location isn't just a geographical quirk, it's a strategic goldmine. Mexico's trade with the US rose 2.5% year over year to $798 billion in 2023, making Mexico the US's largest trading partner. Yes, you heard that right. Mexico has overtaken China and Canada as the US's #1 trading partner. And this isn't just a temporary blip. Mexico's proximity to the US, combined with its modern infrastructure and efficient transportation links, means that goods can be shipped from Mexico to the US in a matter of days compared to the weeks it takes from Asia. This speed and reliability are a game changer for industries that rely on just-in-time manufacturing. But geography isn't Mexico's only ace in the hole. The country is sitting on a treasure trove of natural resources. We're talking about vast reserves of oil, gas, silver, and more. In fact, Mexico is the world's largest producer of silver, contributing 24% of the global output. And while oil prices might be volatile, Mexico's energy sector remains a cornerstone of its economy, with proven oil reserves of 5.67 billion barrels as of 2023. But here's the kicker. Mexico isn't just relying on fossil fuels. The country is making serious moves in renewable energy, with plans to harness its abundant sunshine and coastal winds to power the next generation of green technology. Now let's shift our focus to something a bit tastier. Agriculture. Mexico is more than just the land of avocados and tequila, although those are pretty fantastic in their own right. Mexico is the world's largest producer of avocados, cranking out over 2.4 million tons in 2022 alone. And when it comes to limes, Mexico produces a staggering 2.7 million tons each year. But it's not just about fruits. Mexico's agricultural sector is a powerhouse, with exports totaling $37.5 billion in 2019 and climbing higher each year. This agricultural diversity isn't just good for business, it makes Mexico more resilient to global supply chain shocks. While other countries scramble to import essential goods, Mexico can rely on its rich and varied agricultural base to keep its economy humming. But wait, there's more. Mexico isn't just sitting back and letting its natural resources and strategic location do all the work. The country has been aggressively pursuing trade agreements that open up new markets and bring in foreign investment. With over 40 trade agreements, Mexico has access to more than 1.5 billion consumers around the world. The USMCA, which replaced NAFTA in 2020, has been a game changer, strengthening economic ties between Mexico, the US, and Canada. And it's paying off. Foreign direct investment in Mexico hit $29 billion in 2020, making it one of the top destinations for investment in Latin America. This influx of capital isn't just filling the government's coffers, it's driving growth in key industries like manufacturing, automotive, electronics, and aerospace. And here's where things get really interesting. As Mexico's economy grows, so does its middle class. Mexico is evolving into a predominantly middle-class nation, with 50% of its population now categorized as middle class and 30% belonging to the upper class. This isn't just a statistic, it's a sign of a country on the rise. A growing middle class means more consumer spending, more demand for goods and services, and more opportunities for business to thrive. Over the past decade, Mexico achieved an average growth rate of 2.5% in retail sales, outpacing the Latin American average of 1.7%. As more Mexicans enter the middle class, they're spending money on everything from smartphones to cars to vacations, driving economic growth and creating a positive feedback loop that benefits the entire country. But perhaps the most exciting development in Mexico's rise is its potential to become the world's next manufacturing powerhouse. For years, China has been the go-to destination for manufacturing, but that is starting to change. Rising labor costs, concerns about corporate espionage, and human rights abuses are making China a less attractive option for multinational companies. As these companies look to relocate, Mexico is emerging as the prime candidate. The country offers a skilled and affordable labor force, a stable political environment, and most importantly, proximity to the US market. In 2023, more than 70% of American companies with operations in China indicated that they were considering moving to Mexico. This shift could lead to a manufacturing boom, creating thousands of jobs and injecting billions of dollars into the Mexican economy. However, Mexico's rise isn't without challenges. The country still faces significant issues related to crime, corruption, and inequality. Mexico's homicide rate at 25 per 100,000 inhabitants in 2022 is one of the highest in the world. Drug cartels and organized crime continue to be a serious problem, threatening the country's stability and scaring off potential investors. Corruption is another issue. Mexico scored 31 points out of 100 on the 2023 Corruption Perceptions Index, reported by Transparency International. These challenges are real, and they need to be addressed if Mexico is to reach its full potential. And then there's the political landscape. President Andrés Manuel López Obrador has been a polarizing figure since taking office in 2018. His administration has implemented popular social programs and increased infrastructure spending, but it has also faced criticism for undermining democratic institutions. López Obrador has centralized power in the presidency, reduced the independence of the judiciary, and weakened the autonomy of regulatory agencies. These actions have raised concerns about the future of democracy in Mexico and the potential for political instability. However, his policies have also garnered significant support, particularly among the poor, who have benefited from increased social spending. The recent election of Claudia Sheinbaum as Mexico's new president suggests that the current administration's policies will continue, at least in the near term. Despite these challenges, the trajectory is clear. Mexico is on the rise. The country's strategic location, rich natural resources, growing middle class, and extensive network of trade agreements provide a solid foundation for sustained economic growth. If Mexico can address its internal challenges and capitalize on the global shifts that are already underway, it could very well become one of the world's leading economies. The story of Mexico's rise is one of resilience, opportunity, and ambition. And as the world watches, Mexico is poised to take its place on the global stage, not just as a regional power, but as a true global leader.